This Albion Online video is all about the easiest arena build to rank up in. This build will absolutely crush the lower iron and bronze ranks, allowing you to very quickly rank up if you want to get more or better prizes. We'll talk more about that in just a bit, but let's get into the build. But before that, this build does not do the following. It will not beat a pre-made. If you're fighting a 5-man pre-made all in the same guild, you really can't run this build. Now, also, it can't beat high rankers. It's pretty easy to counter, but in low ranks, no one counters this and they just melt to it. You can't carry a team if your healer is AFK, and you can't survive a one-shot comp. So here is the weapon of the build. You're going to be using the Whispering Bow with the multi-shot ability. You're going to be using the Explosive Arrows as your W, and for your passive, Piercing Arrows. So why this weapon? Now, I know that later in the higher ranks, the regular bow is meta, but right now in the lower ranks, the Whispering Bow is one of the highest damage-dealing single-target weapons in the game. When you use this specific build, you're going to melt any cloth target you target. You're going to melt enemy tanks if they don't know how to retreat or have a good healer that can bop you or interrupt you. You're going to basically just deal so much damage the enemy team cannot cope with it. You can 1v1 most enemies because they're gonna brawl you, and then they're gonna realize that their HP is gone and they're dead. And so the reason we use Q1 here, multi-shot, is because we want to interrupt enemies so they don't use their big channeled abilities. We also want to push enemies away when we're retreating or just push people into a clump. We use Explosive Arrow because it's a massive damage boost, and if people are clumped, everyone's exploding. It's really, really powerful. And finally, we're using Piercing Arrows because shredding their defense is mandatory for this build. For armor, you will be using the Hunter Jacket because it's leather. It gives you a nice mix of defense and offense. You're not as glass cannon-y, but you don't need it. This thing actually, when using your haste ability here, will grant you more DPS than wearing a cloth armor, and the bonus is just, the defense is just free. So, haste makes your auto attack speed 60% faster, and you deal 20% more damage, which you will be snapshotting with your other abilities. For the passive, you're taking, increasing damage and healing, and defense by just a bit. For your boots, you will be using the Royal Sandals, and you could use a different boot if you want, but this one gives you the most mobility. It can't be purged. It gives you a damage buff, which you can use to chase and finish off targets. I mostly use this defensively to escape, but it's on a lower cooldown. It doesn't heal you or anything, but the damage boost and the mobility and the ability to run across the map and capture an outpost, or chase down that guy that has barely any HP left, or to move close to their healer to machine gun them down is absolutely vital. For your helmet, you will be using the Assassin Hood. You can also use a Spectre Hood. The Assassin Hood just gives you a cooldown rate while you stand still in channel, so this can be interrupted, and it's not really advised to be used if you're being attacked. Whereas the Spectre Hood, it has a 1-minute cooldown instead of 30 or 40 seconds in this case, but it immediately refreshes your armor. But usually the way your skills line up is that your armor will have like 8 seconds left until you can use it, and the Spectre Hood just lets you start melting people 8 seconds sooner. Whereas this one can let you use your boots and your W and your E and your armor mostly. It's just better, but it's only better if it's a win more helmet. The Spectre Hood is a I'm not quite winning yet helmet. And then we have the Thetford Cape, and the reason we're using a Thetford Cape is just extra damage. Basically, when your abilities are on cooldown, the only attack you have is your auto attack, and the Thetford Cape every 15 seconds basically just gives you a little bit extra damage from those auto attacks. And yes, the Morgana Cape technically is more DPS, but it's every 2 minutes, and you don't have 2 minutes to spare in arena. You need to be constantly knocking people's health down. That's your job, that's your role. For food, you'll be using the Beef Stew. This just gives you flat damage. And yes, if you use 0.3 food in arena, you get the 0.3 food buff. It's absolutely broken, bonkers, busted, insane. But it's a little expensive, and I don't think the returns are worth, ranking up an arena for. Just to be fair, we're talking about Crystal Arena. And in Crystal Arena, right now you can see, I barely play, so I'm Iron 2, whoop-de-doo, who cares, right? But in Iron 1, if you want to know the difference for the rewards versus Crystal, Crystal gives you 3 times the amount of rewards than Iron 1 does. It's only 3 times the amount, so that means that you would average, 10,000 silver on average, maybe, and, 50,000 fame. Well, when you win in crystal rank, you get 150,000 fame in books and 10,000, 20,000 silver, something. It's really not a lot. It's a piss poor amount. It's really not worth stressing about your rank to get better rewards. It's not enough to be worth the grind, in my opinion. I'm just making this video for fun for people that are bored and want to do arena, because there's not a lot to do in the game right now. So let's talk about how the build works, and we're going to talk about, I need to educate you about damage snapshotting. So, what is snapshotting? Well, whenever you activate an ability, it takes into account what damage buffs you currently have active as the player. So because we want to buff our undead arrows as much as possible, what you do is you cast your boot ability, so that's 15% damage. Then you cast your hunter jacket, which is 20% damage. And then you would cast your undead arrows. And while your undead arrows is firing, that's when you would then activate your explosive arrows. And if you do decide to use berserk potions, you simply drink your potion before you activate undead arrows. And even though berserk potion only lasts 5 seconds, and undead arrows lasts 8 seconds, once all of your damage buffs fall off, because you activated undead arrows during the damage buffs, you still get that damage boost until undead arrows runs out. And so that's why it's super important that you cast your buffs before you cast undead arrows. Otherwise, it doesn't help you at all. Like, if you cast undead arrows and then buff your damage, you're doing regular damage. So playing with Whispering Bow, it's a little weird if you're not used to playing with bows, but essentially, for PC users, when you push your spacebar and you have a target selected, you will begin shooting at them. And so, the way you want to do this is, as soon the literal frame that you cast undead arrows and it's activated, you want to be pushing spacebar while having the person you want to kill targeted, and that's going to immediately start firing arrows. And if you do this technique just right, you can get one extra attack in before all of your buffs and your undead arrows runs out, so you'll be technically dealing just a bit more damage. And also, just having undead arrows right after haste, you do not keep the attack speed buff, you do keep the damage, but the attack speed buff is a huge part of your damage, so you want to make sure that you're activating your armor right before you're within firing range of the enemy, or you want to be close enough to the enemies so that when they start running away, because with this build, their health is going to be absolutely deleted. You can 100 to 0 people, even when they have defensives or heals on their character, through shields and stuff. I mean, of course, not cleric robe, but not immunities. You can't shoot through immunities, but you can break shields and break heals, and you can really deal tons of damage. It's insane. So here's what counters the build. Anything that's a one-shot build, like those dual daggers, anything that reflects or double reflects, immunities, if they can go fully immune to damage for a bit, you can't really win. You can't fight them because your buffs are going to fall off before they become unimmune. Anything that disables auto attacks, like quarterstaffs, you can't literally shoot them. Like, we are an auto attack turret build. Anything that can stun, sleep, or fear you, those are pretty annoying, and really, really good healers, which you're not going to find in the low ranks anyway. And then being focused when your E is active. So here's the problem with the Whispering Bow. This is why people don't use it in the higher ranks. So just using your Whispering Bow's E spell decreases your defense by 25%. And again, using our boots decreases defense by 15. We are literally meltable whenever we use this, but so is the enemy, and we can shoot from far away and much faster than they can, and that's what wins the day. So let's do a match. Let's show you what the fight looks like. So what I'm looking for right now is I'm going to see which enemies have cloth. We have the healer has cloth, and that's basically it. So, but we should still be able to kill these leather users at around 2 to 1 second. I'm going to eat my food. There we go, and then I'm going to hold right click and get a nice running start. And is my team AFK? Hello? You don't want to be in the front lane. You don't want to be in the front row. But what you do want to do is just poke at them with Q and auto attacks. You almost always want to be autoing if you can. So, let's see. That guy got autoed, so they're all shocked. That's stacking damage. There we go. Our team is starting to cap. And again, I'm not the initiator guy. But it looks like this guy wants to tussle. And look, he has no idea, right? So he's shielded, he's dead, or he's about to die. Now I swap targets to the to that guy. And again, now it's time to run away a bit. It's not a good spot for me to use my D spell, but I'm going to go ahead and do that because it actually works here pretty well. Someone threw a potion. So there we go. Now I have my buffs back up. Here comes the double swords. Look at his HP. Look at mine. He has to run away. He can't. He literally cannot stand and fight. So I'm up to 2 kills already. This guy just used his boots and he's chasing me and he's trying to hit me. And that's fine because I can just knock him back and run away. My boots beats his boots. Now I can't do much right now until my healer tops me off, which is over here. Look for the green dot. Look for that green dot and try to stick near him. Now sometimes, you know, healers are in pre-mades. Now, right now I have to make a choice. I don't have an escape if I initiate, right? But this is the healer, and look at my range. So I'm going to poke as best I can here and try to keep some distance. But they're going to... Oh, that double blink, right? So, yeah, let's just get some damage on this guy. There we go. Got my boots. And try to poke him down. Again, he can't really escape because our boots are just going to allow us to chase. We're just auto-attacking him. There we go. So he's down. I'm up to 3 kills. And it looks like our team isn't doing the best at capturing points. Also, what's up with the healer there? Okay, so we auto and we poke. Our healer is very low HP. Alright, so we don't have the best healer, but that's okay. And this guy's gonna, you know, he's gonna jump in. We're gonna try to kill him here. And you can see that he's pretty tanky, right? There we go. We did a lot of damage to him, though. But again, without a like if your healer's AFK, you really can't play this build unless you just die trade. Which I don't want to die to respawn at full health. I would prefer... Where is our healer? Okay, healer's back at base camp. So again, I'm gonna go hug the healer, and hopefully he tops me off. There we go. He's gonna start heals. All right, feels good. Yeah, we have a lot of mana. This is not a mana problematic build unless you are constantly firing on the enemy. And yeah, I could be doing better, but I think we're doing all right, even though we're technically losing at the moment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start walking towards this guy, and I used my armor a little early there. But I can chase, right? I can chase, I can fire, and he's forced to run away. But look at his HP. He has to go get topped off. And it's no big deal for us because we're going to just get those cooldowns right back. I'm topped off. My armor is in 3 seconds. Remember, I'm staring at my armor cooldown. That's what I'm doing the whole match. I just want to make sure that when my armor is off cooldown, and I don't want to be your friend, I'm sorry. When my armor is off cooldown, that's when I can act, right? So, ooh, that healer is so low. I'm going to run in with boots. I'm going to start firing and just, yeah, there you go. So that's 1 kill. This is 2 kills. There we go. I didn't get the credit, but we can start attacking this dual swords guy. And now I'm going to start capping because all my skills are on cooldown, right? Okay. So this guy's going to, he wants some smoke, and that's okay. So, again, we're just going to start kind of kiting around our teams here. I can now get my cooldowns back safely. There we go. Getting some nice heals. Our armor is back. Our boots are back. I can chase this guy down. I don't really need to, though. We got 15 seconds until this caps. You see this little timer here at the top middle? The bottom number. Every time this counts down, you get credit for how many towers you own. So you want to make sure that you have all the towers when that thing counts down all the way. So 3, 2, 1, and then it's gonna deduct from their score. Boom, there we go. They lost 40 points because we 3 capped. And at this point, the enemy is super demoralized. And, you know, I'm a ranged attacker. I can shoot from max range, like so. And I'm going to hit them with that Thetford Cape. I can shoot them again, hit them with the Q, which he dodged, but most people don't. And look, it's such a low cooldown. I can boots away if they initiate, right? I can poke. I can just sit here and poke them literally forever, right? And he's trying to approach from the bottom. So again, there's another poke with the Thetford Cape. I'm just sitting here chipping away at their life, right? Go ahead. And this guy wants some smoke. So watch. This is the little, what I'm talking about. Look at his health. Look at his health. It's gone. He didn't even have time to fight me, right? He initiated, and he got absolutely melted. So I'm going to back off, and I'm going to get my armor cooldowns back. Here we go. And again, we have yet another 3 cap, because we just out DPS the hell out of these guys. I can push this guy away. I can boots if he escapes. There we go. The healer got the kill, I think. No, he didn't. All right. So again, I'm just tickling people here. Just shooting at them. Looks like someone wanted some smoke. So again, pop my cooldowns. There we go. I'm going to boots in. Try to get this guy too. And yeah, look how much damage I just deal to this guy. Like, his health is so low. I'm 7-0 right now. And yeah, see, like, the thing is that this build is so strong and so high damage that people just don't know what to do. I'm going to just waste my helmet cooldown because why not? And I'm just going to farm kills at this point. It's already over, right? So, again, boots in, armor in, E, W. This guy's laughing. Yeah, look at his health. It's gone. By the time he ran up to melee me, he's dead. And this guy is in leather. His name is Marvin, right? He's wearing plate helmet, leather chest, cloth boots. Okay, it's that strong. Like, he died in, what, 6 or 7 arrows? And again, I can sit here at maximum range and push people away, and there's not a whole lot they can do. Like, he's chasing me right now, right? I can just run away. I have boots to even run away further. And I only got 67 RP that time. I normally get 70, so I'm not sure why I got less. Maybe it's because I didn't capture any posts. You want to make sure that you're capping posts with this build, but as you can see, you just delete people. They are dead zone. It's so ridiculous. If you need to do your 3 dailies, which I don't recommend, like if you're a new player, Arena is not a good, you know, it's not good for your time, right? Daily rewards, okay, they're not that good. Even in Crystal rank, they're not that good. But one thing that this build really helps you do, even if you are like an Arena junkie, is that the get 10 kills in a single Arena or Crystal match, alright? It's so easy to get with this build, it is literally insane. I hope you guys really enjoyed this build. And you'll notice I didn't use a potion. If you have like gigantic potions, you know, potions of resist, poison potions would melt people even faster. The berserk potions are really your best damage potion. You drink it before you start shooting. People will die in like 4 to 5 arrows instead of 7. It's nuts. And again, I wasn't even getting to shoot cloth targets. If you are shooting cloth targets, they just instantly die. Like, by the time they realize they're being shot at, they're already dead. This out damages bolt casters, and you can't be interrupted. Like if someone bolt casts, like in a 1v1 with a bolt caster, if they don't silence me first, I just interrupt them, and then their bolt caster E is gone. It's on cooldown. Like, there's nothing they can do. But again, if someone swaps to like a quarterstaff and they shut down your auto attacks, you're basically dead in the water. So again, it can be countered, and it will be countered at higher ranks and against pre-mades. Pre-mades, what they do is they'll have like 20 different gear sets in their inventory, and they're like, oh, that guy's a whispering bow. Hey, Joe, pull out your quarterstaff and lock him down, and then you're screwed. So it does happen. It doesn't happen at low ranks though. So just use this build to climb your ranks, get your dailies done if you care about it, and have some fun with it. It's also really good in faction warfare too. It's one of my favorites. I tend to use demon boots and undead cape in faction warfare so I can run away, because when there's like 20 guys jumping you kind of don't want to get a repair bill, right? But yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have fun with this nice arena build. And again, it's not meta at high ranks, but hey, maybe we can make it high meta at a high rank. I don't know. We'll see. I don't really play arena enough to really care. But anyway, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think, let me know how this build did, and you don't need to have 8.4. The awakened power of item power on this weapon does not work in arena, okay? You don't need 8.4 in arena, just use 4.1 or 4.2, depending on your spec, because the game limits your IP down to like 900 something. You see, when I go to arena, you just need the 900 to sign up. It's an item power soft cap, okay? So you don't need 8.4 gear. My gear is not carrying me. That's not the reason I'm doing so much damage. All right, it's the build itself, and there is no item combination with Whispering Bow other than Face Scale Robe and Morgana Cape that deals more damage, and that only does slightly more damage. But the problem with Morgana Cape, even on 8.4, it's a 1 minute and 11 second cooldown, so you're basically useless most of the match, and your meditation does not lower that cooldown. So please, before you go, click the video on the right side of your screen, and if you do, you're going to get some really nice deals next time you go to the grocery store. But bonus footage, okay, so just getting to Iron 2 gives you a Tier 3 Tome of Insight reward instead of Tier 2. So if you only care about the daily rewards, just get to Iron 2 and then you're good to go. This build will get you there easy peasy.